everyone, and welcome to Bluegrass Planet Radio. I am your host, DJ Delta Dawn, and I am so glad to be here with you on Wednesday. It is Hump Day, folks, and you know what that means. We are 2 days away from the weekend. We're even closer than that now because Wednesday is almost out of the way. And so I want to welcome everyone to our show this evening and all the brand new listeners. If you're brand new, this is the first time here, welcome to Bluegrass Planet Radio. We are glad to have you with us. And we've got a great guest lined up tonight, and we are waiting for him to call in now, so he should be on the line momentarily. But he's done some phenomenal things in the world of country music, and definitely has reaped some major awards of late, and is just has a brand new album out, and just so many great things are happening for him. I couldn't be happier for him. He's a great artist, has done some wonderful things in the world of music. He's immensely talented. And I want to give you a little background on him. He actually embodies all things country music. His personality is warm and inviting. Some would say he's down to earth, and recalling the disposition of many a Southern gentleman from yesteryear. And he recently won this year an Independent Country Music Association Award, and he stayed on the Roots Music Report charts for 8 months. He's received international airplay and has had live performances at Rodeo Alaska, the Iditarod, the Grinder Switch Hour, Alaska State Fair, and Dan McGinnis on Music Row, among countless others. He's a God-fearing road warrior with the warm baritone voice and love for all things Southern, and is ready to release, actually he just released his second album project, aptly titled Super Country Cowboy. And on this album, he has created a tasteful blend of yesterday's traditional country roots and today's radio-friendly contemporary sounds to invoke all the best that is American, love of God, family, and the U.S. of A. And joining us tonight, we will be speaking with Doug Briney, and he will be calling in very shortly. We're waiting for him to call now. But while we're waiting, I want to go ahead and give you a little bit of a taste of his latest release, because he is definitely an artist that needs to be heard, and I think that you will enjoy him as much. So first up, I'm going to play Super Country Cowboy, which is the title cut off of his latest album. Just a moment. Here we go.
Daddy like George Jones, Haggard and Buckoons. Mama like the Eagles and the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. When I was just a little kid, I became a hybrid super country evangelic rockabilly psychedelic cowboy. There's a new branch on the family tree, and it all starts right here with me. Super country, evangelic, rockabilly, psychedelic cowboy. I'm a Christian shouting, achy, breaky, bust a move on you right now, boy. Get up out of your seat, there's a new branch on the family tree. It all starts right here with me. They said it was the devil's tongue, the sense of him on Sullivan. Now he's loved by everyone. There's an FM evolution, country music revolution, LP, CD, ripped from your MP3, boy. There's a new branch on the family tree. It all starts right here with me. Super country, evangelic, rockabilly, psychedelic cowboy. I'm a Christian shouting, achy, breaky, bust a move on you right now, boy. Get up out of your seat, there's a new branch on the tree. It all starts right here with me. Tree. It all starts right here with me. I'm super country, evangelic, rockabilly, psychedelic cowboy. I'm a twisted, shouting, achy, breaky, bust a move on you right now, boy. Evangelic, rockabilly, psychedelic cowboy. Get up out of your seat.
That is a title track off of Doug Briney's latest release, Super Country Cowboy, and I love that. I love that rock edge, but yet it's very country, and I absolutely love that sound. So, without further ado, I am very, very excited to welcome to our show this evening Mr. Doug Briney. Hello.
Hey, Dawn. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm glad I have a voice. I'm at a wrestling match, but I have two boys that are in high school, freshmen, and they both wrestle, and one just finished. I mean, and it was a tough, brutal match. So I was like screaming as hard as I could, which is not good for a singer, but I'm glad to be here.
Well, you know, but you got to be a parent first. So I'm thrilled. You know, I mean, I know I've got three children myself, two of which are out of school, but one is a sophomore, and I know how it is. I mean, those events do come first above all.
Man.
So
yeah, I'll tell you what, it was right down to the wire too. So, but I'm glad to be here.
Well, those wrestling matches are so exciting to watch, you know, and of course, it's much different when you have children that are wrestling, you know, then it just kind of takes the whole adrenaline up a whole new notch, you know.
It does, and every fiber in my body was so tense. I mean, my son, we're brand new to Tennessee, and so this is their first year wrestling here in Tennessee, and the gentleman that he was just wrestling is ranked number 1 in the state. And my son, he took it down to the last 15 seconds, and it was tied. Then he did lose, but it was just in the last 15 seconds, and it was a gut-wrenching match. But anyway, but we're here to talk about the music. I'm sorry.
Well, look, I'm a sucker for talking about people's children. I think it's awesome, especially when they're involved in things. And so, but yes, we are very glad to have you here, Doug. It is an honor and pleasure to speak with you. I've been following your career for a little while now, and man, you have really been reaping the success, and you've got this brand new album out. Congratulations on every bit of it. It's quite a feat.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's a large part due to a great manager, Michael Stover, doing a fantastic job for me, and just a lot of hard work and playing every chance that I get. So we're excited about things that are going on.
Well, and you should be. I'm excited for you. I tell you, I was playing that song Super Cowboy before we started, and it was just, I couldn't help but get into it. I'm like chair dancing. I can't really move around much when I'm on air, but it's such a great tune. I mean, oh my gosh. And so I know it's going to get a lot of airplay if it hasn't already.
Thank you. I hope so. Yes, it's doing well on the stations that are carrying it right now. So that's all I can ask for, and hopefully we keep winning more stations over. So that's what we're shooting for.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I kind of want to go back a little bit in time with you, because I know this is not your first trip around the radio in terms of music. You've been at this a good while, and talk a little bit about how you kind of got started and came to be. Was music kind of always in your blood from day one, or did you kind of just evolve into it as time went on?
To answer that, I sang my first solo in church when I was 2 years old. And my dad has the old reel-to-reel tape of that, and I sounded a lot like Froggy from the Little Rascals, but so I have been singing, and then I grew up singing in youth choirs and in church. I was a music major in college. I've led music in churches for the past 26, 27 years, and so music has always been a huge part of my life. Now, getting into and country music is the genre that I always listened to. That's just what I grew up listening to. Kenny Rogers, Greenwood, Alabama. The first concert I ever went to was Larry Gatlin and the Gatlin Brothers. So the country music is what I, lived and breathed. And as a matter of fact, in church all these years, when a person had not played accompanied me, they say, well, it's the same song, but you do it a little bit different. I said, yeah, that's the twang that just comes out, and it just, so it is. It's a part of who I am. And so, yeah, music has always been a part, but really taking this outside of the church began about 7-8 years ago when I started competing with a local competition up in Anchorage, Alaska through K-Bear. Country Idol was the name of the competition, and it was, kind of a takeoff of the American Idol, but it was a radio station there that put on a competition. And I began competing in that and had a lot of fun with that. Went in as a finalist several years in a row and just had a lot of fun with it. And that's really what began the career path outside of the church.
Well, and what a career path it has been. And I have to commend you, because one thing that I love about your music, Doug, is the fact that, you have stayed true to your traditional roots and the traditional roots of country music, which have kind of gotten lost within the American country music scene of today. It still exists, but it's become kind of more of a country rock or a pop country kind of sound. And I love your music because every time I listen to it, I'm taken back, to a decade or 2 or 3 ago. In a sense, I feel like, it's relevant to now, and it's very much needed because some of that's been lost. But at the same time, I feel like I'm taking a wonderful trip down memory lane of some of those great country artists that made country what it was and what it has been. And so I just have to praise you for that, because that is something that I think we need more of in country music. We need to kind of bring it back to the roots and the foundation of where country music kind of evolved from.
Well, thank you. I mean, that really is high praise, and I do thank you for that. I think we're kind of on this pendulum, and it's been this way in music since the very beginning. You have those that really push the envelope, and it pushes a while, and it's kind of like a pendulum, and then it starts swinging back to where it was, and it's constantly changing, constantly evolving, and I think we're on this pendulum ride, and I really think we're going to be seeing more artists returning to more of the roots, and still having that edge sound, and that's what we were really going for on this album is to be true to the roots, but still have the radio friendly, that edge sound that people still connect with. The younger generation still connects with, and yet to still be true to it. And so it's kind of a fine balance, and we really worked hard to make that happen with this album and all the different songs. But I really do think that we're seeing that pendulum switch back to that more traditional sound, and at least I hope so, because that is, like I said, that's what I grew up on, and that's what I really gravitate to.
Yeah, and I'll give you a great example. I love the fact that you've done that, because you've got something for everybody on your album. And the young generation, my 15-year-old daughter, if you asked her what's your favorite music, she would tell you country, hands down. And we were riding down the road the other day and listening to Sirius XM, and they were listening to their country Christmas channel. And it was just interesting to me that the majority of songs played on the channel were those country artists from a decade or 2 ago that were in their prime, and all the music was from those artists. It was very few from today's artists, and I thought that was quite interesting, and it just, listening to that just kind of took me back as well. So, yes, I believe that there is a resurgence of sorts that's bringing that traditional country sound that everyone grew up and cut their teeth on pretty much, back into country music, which I think it's always going to have a place because that's where it was born from.
I do too. But the funny thing about this, I have to share this little story. My dad is 83 years old, and my dad is a huge Eddie Arnold fan, and I mean Sons of the Pioneer, and that is country music to him. That's country music, and so when he listens to my music, he's proud of what I've done, but understand his first words to me, well, it's not really country. And so I just had to laugh because it's, it is perception. It's a generational thing, and music is evolving all the time, and it's changing, and it's an interesting road that we live on as musicians and as listeners, and where it goes and how it sells and what the stations play. It's there's so much to it, and it's just very interesting. But I think it's interesting that you talk to younger folks or folks my age, and it's very traditional sounding to them. But you talk to my dad, and it's way too rocky. It's not country at all. You talk to I have, like I said, my 15-year-old boys that are still at home, and 14-year-old twins. I'm trying to make them older, and you talk to them, and it's very traditional sounding country to them, and so it's really interesting. It is who you talk to, and your perceptions.
Oh, definitely. I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, who I like in country music and who my daughter likes are just kind of almost worlds apart, but yet it's still country. So I can completely identify with that. Now, I have to congratulate you because earlier this year you signed with Tate Music Group. That is huge, and congratulations on that.
Well, thank you. They did a fantastic job on this album. They're who helped me put this album together and just did a great job.
Yes, indeed. And I had read somewhere that, the title cut kind of is a great infused mix of the Charlie Daniels sound kind of meets Big and Rich. And I thought, yes, and once I heard it that first time, I was like, yes, whoever coined that sure did hit the nail on the head, because it's kind of cool because, what you've been able to do with this album, I think is quite brilliant and magical at the same time, because as I said earlier, there's something for everyone, no matter, for all age groups who love country music, and it has that appeal across many generations. And so was that really kind of the main thing you were striving for and the record label was striving for when you put out this project, or was this just kind of born as things went along in the process?
There was a lot of thought put into it. Again, I go back to Michael Stover, my manager, and I. Let me back up even further. My first album, I self-produced that, and I put that one together myself and did that, and I listened to over 300 songs to select 10 on that album. This one, I have no idea how many songs Michael Stover listened to, but I know he sent me still close to probably 200, and we narrowed it down to 10 for this album. And we were very selective. We were looking for that, again, the sound that would be, I hate to use the term, but radio friendly, but still was me. Mm-hmm. So it was very much a conscious thing to do that. And when we cut all 10 songs, and we got the proofs back and listening to them, and one of the songs just was not right. It just was not, it's a great song, but it just didn't fit the rest of the album, and we decided to cut it, which was cut it from the album, which was amazingly hard. To tell you the honest to goodness truth, that was tough. I mean, you feel like, it's one of your babies. And for me, it was gut-wrenching to cut that from the album, but it was the best thing that we could do because it just did not fit with the rest of the album, and it didn't mesh, and it wasn't right for my voice and for this album. And so we needed to pull it. But to answer the question in short, it was a very conscious decision on my managers and my part to get this blend. Tate, when Tate stepped in there, we sent them the songs. I recorded them acoustically, tempo, laid out how I wanted the verses, how I wanted the choruses, and the instruments, and Don Johnson, Tate, just did a absolute knockout job creating those tracks for me with the musicians that are there, and he nailed it. And there was only one change that I sent back to him, and that was on the song Gene Fuguay. I sent that back to him and asked him if he could make one little change, and the next day he says, he says, I struggled with that. He says, thank you. That's exactly what it needed. And a couple days later, I had that track, and we just loved it. So they just did a fantastic job with that. But there's your answer. In a long, roundabout way, the answer is it was a very conscious decision to blend those songs the way that we did.
And brilliantly done, I have to say again. It just turned out to be such an incredible project for you and for listeners alike. Listeners are getting a real treat on this album because of the diversity of material and the way you've laid it out, how all the songs are just a perfect fit they complement one another so well. And one of the tracks in particular that I want to talk to you a little bit about is Unknown Soldier. And yes. I know that you have a steep history in your family of veterans, military service. I know you have a son that is serving in the Air Force, and I just want to say, many thanks to him for his service to our country. And I'm sure that all played a part in this track, but when you first heard it, was it kind of a given that you knew it had to go on this album, or was it just you just knew that at some point it would fit in perfectly with the theme as a whole?
We were looking. I specifically asked Michael. I really wanted to have a song to honor our military on this album. That's something, as you said, is extremely important to me. In all of my shows, I always do a thank you to our military. In every show I've ever done, I do a thank you to our military and do several songs to honor our military. And so I wanted to include one on there, and we listened to a ton of songs, and some of them were just outstanding, but they didn't connect to me as personally as this one. The first time that I heard Unknown Soldier, I said, that's it. That's the one I want. This is it. And I emailed Michael right away. I said, let's grab that one. That's it. And he agreed wholeheartedly right away as well. He went back and listened and said, absolutely, I think this is perfect. And so it was an immediate response, an immediate connection to the song. And I knew it was, I just knew it was right for me and on this album because of the connection. I honestly didn't think so much about how it would fit in with the rest of the album, because to me it was at that point it really was almost a showcase piece that I wanted to honor our military. And so that it didn't matter to me what the rest of the album was. I wanted that piece in there. I mean, it sounds silly, but it really is the truth. I wanted that piece in there. And when I heard that song, I knew that was it. And it just, it does fit, and it blends in with the rest of the album. And again, extremely, extremely proud of it, and extremely, again, thankful to Don Johnson and the folks at Tate that did a great job in the production and putting that together for me.
Well, it's a beautiful song, and you did such a stellar job with it. And, that's one of the things I love about country music, Doug, is the fact that so many of the artists, like yourself, they do, it is very apparent, the awareness of the tributes that are made to our military. And in music, through the music that is made, unlike any other genre out there, and which I think is really unique and incredible to the country music genre. And I wish every genre of music would take that stand and do the same thing, because, you can never respect and revere our military and what it does for our country every single day enough. I mean, I don't think there could ever be enough thanks said for their service. And to keep us free so you can make great music and I can get on the radio and talk. I mean, it's just as simple as that,
That's right.
So it's a wonderful song, and I have no doubt that that this is going to get a lot of airplay. Now, are you planning to release this for radio airplay everywhere?
Yeah, we sure are. We're planning on that being probably being the next single that we release. It's obviously available now, but we are planning that will be the next song that we really promote and do as a single. Which I'm learning about that. I didn't realize. I thought you put an album out. They were all, but it's all in the promotion, and that will be the next song that we really promote and really do. But and we're excited about it. And so, again, I thank you so much for the compliments on that.
Oh, well, you're so welcome. It's definitely an honor to be able to play this song and to make it a part of our program and what we do here. I have to ask you, what are your forthcoming plans in 2014? I mean, we are just about down to the wire on 2013, and it's around the corner. I mean, gosh, the holidays are right here almost. And what kind of plans do you have brewing that you can speak of at this time?
We are putting together a tour, a multi-state tour right now, and that is the big plans is for me to be on the road a lot in 2014. I mean, a lot in 2014. Meeting with fans, playing out any place that I can, festivals during the summertime, barbecues. All bar mitzvahs. Wherever there's a gathering, I will play. And we're really going to be focusing on getting out on the road in 2014. That is the main focus, is being out on the road and playing everywhere. And meeting with the fans and hearing their stories and hopefully connecting with them and making a lot of friends along the way.
Well, I would love to see you come to North Carolina. And one thing that kind of leaps out of my mind as you're talking and saying you want to get on the road and play is, with your anthem, Unknown Soldier, my gosh, what an inroads to play for the military all across this nation and take that song to them and be able to perform it live. I just can't imagine what a rush they would get to be able to hear it. That might be something you might want to consider if it's feasible. I think the military, like I said, we can just never revere them enough and give them thanks. But we have several military bases here in North Carolina. I'm just dropping a hint.
I will let you know that North Carolina is definitely on my radar, and this is not the first conversation that I've had with someone about the military bases there. It is on the radar, and I am working hard to get there. It's just we've just got to get things lined up, and so that is definitely North Carolina. I can tell you this will definitely happen in 2014.
Well, that's awesome because I want to come out and see you perform live. I try to do that around my crazy show schedule, get out and see as many people that I've actually talked to. But I definitely would love to come out and see you perform. And would be happy to give you any promotion that you need for any dates that you do here. So you've got my word on that.
We will keep that in mind.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, we will play and promote your music and get it out there because you are the kind of artist, Doug, that needs to be heard. People need to hear your music. It is that good, and that's one of the biggest reasons why I wanted you on the show here, so you could talk a little about your music and where you've come from and how you got to where you are now. And so it's just a great pleasure speaking with you and just being able to hear about all your career success. I have no doubt that 2014 is going to be a huge year for you. I mean, if this year is any indication, oh my gosh, we just better get ready.
Well, all I can say is from your lips to God's ears and to the fans' ears, and I sure hope that it's true. We can, we're doing what we can. I'm doing everything I can to make things happen and playing out. And I'm constantly striving to make my shows better and become a better entertainer as well. And so all those things are a part of the plan for 2014. And I'm going to have to get ready to go here real quick. I do want to just thank you again for having me on. And anybody that's listening, please head over to the website, DougBriney.com. I so appreciate it. The album is available there in CD format, or we have the links directly to the iTunes store where they can purchase the album, or just one of the songs. Maybe it's just Unknown Soldier, and maybe you have a veteran in your family. You can purchase that song through iTunes, and you can give that gift to the person that's in the military, and give that gift to them. And I would appreciate it, and I pray that they would as well.
Well, thank you, Doug. It has been such a pleasure speaking with you, and thank you so much for your time this evening. We greatly appreciate it.
No problem, Dawn. I do too, and I hate to cut it short, but my other son is getting ready to wrestle. I just got a text, so I'm going to run.
That is not a problem. We wish you much success in 2014, and I'm sure we will be back in touch with you and have you back on the show in the very near future.
Thank you, and I will let you know as soon as I get those North Carolina dates confirmed.
Awesome. Well, Merry Christmas to you and your family, and all the best.
Thank you so much, Dawn. To you as well. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. We've been speaking with Doug Briney, and I must tell you, he is a Southern gentleman, just as I described in the intro earlier. He is a phenomenal gentleman and just a real sweetheart. And his music is a great reflection of the person that he is. Absolutely love his sound, love his music, and I love the fact that he has stayed true to those core country roots that he grew up listening to. And that's who he is. He stayed true to who he is as an artist, and I love that he's not tried to kind of, be somebody or as an artist that he's not. And it's just produced some really good material. And so before we wrap tonight, I want to play another cut off of the album, which is entitled Unknown Soldier, the song we spoke about a little bit earlier. It is a great song, and I don't think that there is anybody, that exists pretty much that doesn't know someone who serves in our military, whether it be, a loved one, a spouse, a significant other, a father, a brother, a mother, a daughter, it's endless. And we have so many people serving in our armed forces, and everyone knows someone who serves. And so this song is a real anthem and a great tribute to our American men and women who serve in our armed forces. So I'm going to play that for you now. It's Doug Briney and Unknown Soldier.
I'm every father's son, barefoot boy next door. Yeah, full of mother freedom pride. All across his land, I was raised to be a man. I came from old towns everywhere, but I heard the bathrooms cry. Some have called me Minuteman, Johnny Reb, G.I. Joe. Every war I've had a different name, and I made the sacrifice. Yes, I bravely gave my life. My spirits rise, breeze made so glory wave. Don't you know me? I'm the unknown soldier. I proudly served you. Keep our country strong. I'm the count who died. Keep liberty alive. You remember me, and I'm not really gone. And the unknown soldier marches on. In the fields of Vietnam, on the seas and desert sands, I'm a sentry and I stand by one road. My soul will rest in peace as long as America stays free. I'm the heart of every boy that's never coming home. But don't you know me? I'm the unknown soldier. I proudly serve you, keep our country strong. I'm the Countess who died, keep liberty alive. If you remember me, I'm not really gone. And the unknown soul for its own. Marches on.
Doug Briney from his latest album, Super Country Cowboy, and that was the cut called Unknown Soldier. And again, to reiterate what he said, if you'd like to purchase any number of the songs off of the album or the album itself, you can go to DougBriney.com and you can pick it up there. You can also download it from iTunes, and it would make a great gift this holiday season. It is definitely a great album and one that you want to have in your collection. So we want to give a huge thanks and shout out to Doug for being our special guest this evening, and many, many thanks to all of you for joining us. It has been such a pleasure having you here with us, and if you're brand new to our program, welcome to the Bluegrass Planet family. And that is going to do it for this show, but we will be back within the next hour at 8:30 p.m. We will be live on air with Chris Jones of Chris Jones and the Night Drivers. And if you are a Chris Jones fan, he is a radio personality with Sirius XM's Bluegrass Junction, and also has had a very successful career in music. So we will be speaking with him in just about an hour at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. So you'll want to head right back on over here after the break and tune in for that. So with that, I will say thank you again so much for joining us this evening. We are glad to have you with us, and we definitely look forward to having you back here again very soon. Take care all, and until then, I am your host, Dawn, DJ Delta Dawn, rather, for Bluegrass Planet Radio. Have a great evening all. Good night. You've been listening to Bluegrass Planet Radio. Find us on the web at bluegrassplanetradio.com, on Twitter at Bluegrass Planet, and on Facebook at Bluegrass Planet Radio.